GMT had their half price sale. First one in, is it 2 or 3 years? Anyway, picked up a few games, one of which was this beauty. Now, I was avoiding it because it was rather expensive, in my opinion, but half price, you got to pick it up. Supposedly, you can play this game in 20 minutes, which is nice and refreshing. So this is Cataclysm, the Second World War by William Turtleslovish. I butchered that. And Scott Muldoon. So this was made by Roger McGowan in 2018. So here is the back of the box. Cataclysm, the Second World War. So you got 17 by 22. You get 2 of those. You get units and high solitaire, nice and high, 7. Complexity is a medium, but I heard it was a little on the lower end of medium. So here we go with the plastic unwrap. Cover your ears. That's half the fun of unboxing is the plastic. Like if it didn't have plastic on it, I don't think it'd be the same. So I have no idea what's in this box. I just heard it was a fantastic game, and you could pop it out in 20 minutes. It'll finish it in 20 minutes. So let's make a nice little game, especially a solitaire game for just a weeknight. You know, you come home from work, and you just want to kind of play something quick. So I have no idea what's in here. Oh, nice paper. So you could write in pencil on this thing. So just make any corrections they have on their page in pencil. Which, that's why I don't like the full shiny one because you can't write on it. So here we go, maps and components. So let's check out the rulebook in 1 second. Put it to the side real quick. And, whoa, that is thick. That is thick. How many pages on the rulebook? 39 pages. That's not too bad. Man, that looks really good. That looks really good. We'll go through it in a minute. So here is the playbook. So we get, is that 7 scenarios? Yeah. 31 pages. And then we get more stuff for the next 23 pages. All right. So these are the plays. Action phase. Ooh. So it tells you all the stuff that you can do here. That is nice layout. GMT Games. GMT Games. Love-hate relationship with you guys. It took a month to get me my games. But man, that is production quality right there. That is so nice. We'll go through that in just a second as well. I want to zoom in with these books. I have no idea what this is. Which will live in infamy. Okay. So, I guess that's the holding box and available markers. Is this the reinforcement track? It doesn't look... Well, maybe. Available force pull? Maybe. Maybe that's a reinforcement track. Commitment. Okay. I have no idea what that is either. Oh, we got a bunch of these. Okay, so we got one for United States. We got one for France. So, those have different... conversion and force pull numbers? Yes. So France, we got one for Japan. Wow. So I guess you just get a few of these out. One for Italy. One for Germany. Soviet Union. United Kingdom. Fascist power special rules. Base captured naval operation example. And communist power special rules. Democratic power special rules. Okay. So that is the democratic. Here's the communist. Invasion operation example. Alright. Man, this doesn't look bad at all. This looks like you can get up and running in an evening. Just sort of playing around with it. All right, here is the... Oh, that is nice. That is real nice. That is real nice. Wow. Look at the map. I'm a map lover. Look at this. That looks real nice. And single-sided map. Moderately thin. Yeah, look at this. That is nice. Got the Soviets. Got Turkey. Bulgaria. We got Spain. This is real nice. Yeah, I like these maps. So these maps are pretty small. So do you, I guess you play on one map for two different scenarios? For different scenarios? I don't know. Since they have a logo on both maps, I'm assuming you don't combine them. I guess you could, obviously, but... Yeah, since they both have Cataclysm on there, I'm not sure. I don't know. We will read the rulebook and see. There's your maps. And here are the chits. We'll look at those in a second. What else do we get? Get 3 red, 3 blue, and 3 black. Right, and we get a ton of little blocks. These are little wooden blocks. Okay, cool. That's a lot. It's all right with me. And the ritualistic throwing aside of the inserts, because I'm going to make my own. Over the shoulder, it goes. All right, cool. So let's zoom in and take a look at the goodies. All right, we are up close and personal. Here are the rules, special rules sheets. We have the Communist Power Rules, Democratic Power Special Rules, Fascist Power Special Rules. Pause if you want to read these. And I guess here's the reinforcements, the commitment. So we have United Kingdom, Soviet Union, Germany, Italy, Japan, France, and United States. All right, cool. Put these aside. Let's look at the chits and then the rule book. All right, here are the chits. So, I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming infantry. I don't know what the arrows are. We have, I guess that's factory or supply, air support, some tanks, I guess ships with aircraft, so it'll be aircraft carrier. Let me get a pointer that's a little better, it doesn't shade everything. Home front guns, stability, victory 10, victory. So Civil War and Poland, Czech. I have no idea what any of these are. Then we have democracy, democracy plus 10. That is sheet 1. So here's the back. So what is? The arrows have this on the back. I'm not sure what that is. So here we go. We have, I guess, limited supply, combat -1. Augmented what? Augmented supply? I'm not sure what the arrow is. Then we have a damaged. Very cool, very cool. So let's take a look at the thickness of the chits here. Typical GMC style. I do have a few fuzzies, but it's not like terribly bad. It's not as bad as some of the Compass games. So, pretty standard thickness there. Not too bad at all. So the chits, yeah, they pop right out. Not pre-rounded. May or may not need some trimmed. I don't know. There's not many chits, so it wouldn't be too bad. But they do pop right out. That's nice. All right, it looks like we have more of the same, except here. Guess it's naval and something else. So instead of units with defense and movement and firepower and stuff, it looks like you just have a general higher level thing, like here's some naval support, here's some air support, submarine support, infantry support. It seems like. So it seems like they've simplified that. That's why you can do a game in 20 minutes. So the chits look pretty good. And it looks like there's only, is that only 2 sheets? Yeah, there's only 2 sheets. Nice and small counter there. All right, so that's the back of sheet 2. So that's only going to take up 1 tray. That's kind of nice. That is kind of nice. So that's the back of sheet 2. We have sudden death, communism. I don't know what that is. We have artillery, I guess, aircraft carriers, submarines, air support, tanks, I guess more supply, surrender, interesting stuff there. All right, so two sheets, pretty good thickness on them. I kind of like that. So let's look at the record display. It has 2 sides. So that is the first side right here, effectiveness and reserve. So here are your reserves. I don't know what that means. I guess it's a phased reserve pool. Stability track, pretty standard. Oh, political track, that's kind of cool. And then a turn track. You only get 9? Okay, that's cool. And a victory point track, which you only get 9 as well right there. All right, cool. So on the back are your Civil War examples. Civil War event is rolled for the very first crisis marker. Okay, there's that. And then there is the Chinese Civil War right here. Pause if you want to read it. The start of the standard scenario for Cataclysm. The Chinese Civil War is already underway. Man, the map looks so good. That looks so good. I can't wait till I'm playing this right now. All right. Cataclysm crisis tables. Wartime crisis event. Oh. 6, I assume that's a dice. So it looks like you roll 2d6s and then you come up with a crisis event. So this is your random event generator, it looks like. That's kind of cool. I'll pause and let you just read this. All right, and then on the back, there's peacetime crisis events. And I'll pause and let you read that as well. So 2d6s again, it looks like. So then it just has random events that you're going to encounter just to mix the game up. That's why it's, I guess, high solitaire suitability. Ah, cool. Look at that. Look, nice sequence of play. Sequence of play. So you have administration phase, pretty standard. Action phase, pretty standard. So we have production, gain flags. What's a flag? Gain 2 flags. Status quo. Okay, production is pretty standard. That's going to feed into your supply. Then we have sequence of play, resolving a flag, resolving an offensive a unit, and an upgrade. So the action phase, and then you have sort of a cleanup phase, the end phase. Check to see if the game ends. Just a standard sudden death check, I guess. Lines of communication. Okay. That's interesting that they stuck that in there. Interest and stability. So you have political stability as well. Stability test. Collapse, surrender, military disaster, atomic bomb. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that would affect stability, the atomic bomb dropping. That's kind of cool. That's interesting that they have this many components, or this many types of things. Jesus, that's a lot of stuff. Okay. So now we have military actions, augmentation, builds. And then we have air operations, base capture, naval. Okay, so there's a little bit of everything. Looking a lot like Axis and Allies at some point. All right, and then we have Operation Operation Sequence. Determine Defender. During Operation, defenders determined according to the following priorities. And then Combat Resolution. Okay, so it looks like it's a dice-based combat resolution. Calculate bonuses, etc., etc. Land combat, naval strategic bombing. Very cool. So then we have collapse, where I guess the country just completely goes down. Power player rolls 1 dice. When a power collapses, apply the following effects. Okay. Civil War resolution, Chinese Civil War, and we have opportunity to surrender. Okay. Diplomatic immunity. On the back, we have political actions, maneuvers, pressure, propaganda. We have provocation and movement. How does movement work? Moving units cannot enter a non-friendly land. Makes sense. Land movement, naval movement, and air movement from area to adjacent area. Okay. And then occupation limits, I guess like a stack size, but we don't have enough counters to even worry about that, right? Up to 2 land units. Occupation limit supply for each ideology. Okay, cool. We got a couple of these handouts. How many players does this support? 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got 3 total handouts if you want to put 3 players in there. Okay, so that is the playbook is here. Let's take a look at the rulebook first. All right, rules of play. All right, here's a table of contents, overview, components, sequence of play, action phase reserve, so it's the same as the cheat sheet. Economics come into play, political concepts, flags, interests, political actions, military concepts, military actions, operations, combat. Pretty standard, something similar to unconditional surrender. So Cataclysm is Second World War. Number of players is best with 3 players, okay? With 4 or 5 players, etc. You can do this. Maps, components, map features. Okay, so explain some of the, is that like, that doesn't look exactly like terrain, but yeah, it does. Adverse terrain. All right. So it just has adverse terrain. 1 type of terrain, or 2 types, non-adverse and adverse, and bases, 3. Okay. Special British bases, crossing. All right, so here's your units, production size, display boxes, restricted terrain, resistance. Kind of cool. We have minor armies. Action Cup contains all the counters due to enter play for a given turn. So it's not reserve, it's just a random chit draw for your reinforcements. This? Comes with 3 6-sided dice for each ideology. Fascism, communism, and democracy. All right. Production, we have reserves. Sudden death, after the 3rd crisis marker is drawn in a turn, flip the turn marker to its sudden death side. All right. Resolving units, this looks really cool. Economics, Conversion, war fences, lines of communication. How does that work? Does that affect supply if you're out of communication? I guess, is a unit weakened? Line of communication. Okay. That's interesting that that's the line of communication. It's not supply. We have flags. Stability. I guess it's going to be affected by how many units you've lost. And opportunity to surrender an alliance, breaking an alliance. Occupation limits, right. Land and mixed areas, sea areas. Military action range. Range describes geographic limits on naval and air movement and operations. Ooh. Okay. Naval units are required to remain within range of a friendly port at all times. Makes sense. I guess they drop out of supply or drop out of communication, whatever the supply mechanism is here. Oh, here's supply. Okay, 9-6 supply. Line of communication. Okay, so line of communication affects supply. Okay. Attacking a country. Surprise attacks. This has 1 of everything. I like the complexity without complexity, if that makes any sense. I mean, it looks like that they have a lot of moving parts, but none of them are terribly complex. So you don't have to keep track of 100 different things with 100 different units. You just have like this submarine is out of supply, or this ship is out of supply, this plane is out of supply, whatever. Overall, this looks really cool. Civil Wars. This looks really cool. I'm breaking this out today. Yeah, we're punching this out today. I'm gonna play this. It's a weekend. It's time to play Cataclysm. Crisis tables. All right, and finally, it's getting long. Sorry. We have the playbook. That's interesting that the scenarios end at 31, but we have 31 to 54 has something different. I'm kind of curious what it is. Let's see how good the playbook. Wow. All right, so the first part is play examples, I guess. Administration, yeah, it looks like a example play. So you have an example plays, 3rd sudden death, land combat. I assume until, so the first 17 pages is examples of play. That's very cool. Yeah, 17 pages, full color sample play. That's what I'm talking about. And then we get into scenarios, starting on page 17. And it looks like that we just have cubes. Okay. So there's no layout chart or layout sheet. It just tells you how many cubes, how many flags, and things like that to lay out. And is this a picture of the layout? No, it looks like it's just a picture of the board. So you do have two boards out. Huh. All right. And then it looks like this one is just one board. Is it just one board? Yeah. So that's 1 to 2 hours, and the first one is 4 to 10 hours. Okay. So you got one board scenario, you got a two board scenario. We got another one board scenario with 1 to 2 hours. And victory conditions, setup. The layout looks a lot like Unconditional Surrender, so it looks like this was inspired by that. So we got 4, 2, 3 hours, 2 players. It looks like one board. And scenario 5, Hitler's War, that looks like one board again. So far we have 1, 2 board, and the rest are one board. And it looks like another one board, 3 to 8 hours. Okay. I'll buy that for $1. And then number 7 looks like one board as well. Okay. 1 to 2 hours. So you got some pretty good variety in that. Okay, so we started at 17 and we went until 33, page 33 for the scenarios. So we have two map scenario, and the rest look like one map, according to just a quickie glance here. Looks like one map. And that's nice that they set everything out for you in the picture. So now you don't have to read and try to put everything out. It looks like they give you a nice picture of setup. So that's going to save a lot of time. How many of us have like pictures of our own pictures, you know? Take a picture with your phone of the setup because it took you like an hour to set up. And it's easier just to, instead of reading this and setting up, it's easier just to look at the picture on your phone. Designer interview. That's unusual. Okay, so strategies for the powers. That starts at 39. The interview ends at 38. And, okay, so there's sort of your strat on how to win, I guess, for the different factions. Very cool. And then we have the glossary/index, starting at page 45, and the bibliography. That's a lot of bibliography, starting at page 44. Wow. Okay. That is a hefty bibliography, I have to say. Glossary index, action cup. Oh, so cool. So cool. It's nice. Well, look at this. Instead of just telling you what page or what section to find the rule, it gives you a summary of the rule. How cool is that? How cool is that? Wow. I wish more games did that. So now I can get like just a quick summary of the rules. So now I don't have to go to the section. If I just want a high-level summary to jog my memory, I can just go straight here. Nice touch. Very nice touch. Wonderful game. Oh, for half price, you can't beat this game. This is very cool, especially these short scenarios and quick setup with only 2 counter sheets. Anyway, that was, sorry for the drool. Let me wipe it off my mouth. Okay. That was the unboxing of Cataclysm, a Second World War. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. We're going to be doing some playthroughs. We're going to be doing playthroughs of this game.